Yeah. Now I'm just huge. Mega Man and Ike are trash tier? Maybe, man, maybe. Anyway, let's get right into it. Freaking 13.01 tier list. This will be on my YouTube later. So we're going to start with the, I'm going to just go over the tiers are. Top 12, these 12 characters at the top, we'll get there eventually, but these 12 characters are, in my opinion, the best characters in the game. They have a very low amount of losing matchups, like we're talking about like 7 or less losing matchups for these characters. And they're also just very meta-defining and have a lot of top level players playing them. Top tier, these characters are still super viable. These characters will usually have somewhere between like 10 and like 15 losing matchups. They're all also still part of the meta, but they're a bit more volatile than the characters in. I'm gonna move my camera up a little bit. Than the characters in top 12, and then we have Gatekeeper. So this is like the in between tier between top tier and high tier because I feel like there should be one, and because I think there's way too many good characters, but at some point I think there's a distinction among these high tier characters, top tier characters. So just Gatekeeper characters are characters I think are still really viable, but lose like at least 15 plus matchups, and also have some inconsistencies in their game, but are still super viable, and you can definitely win like a big tournament with these characters. High tier, these characters are still characters that I think are viable, though they have a few too many flaws to be in the Gatekeeper or above. Mid tier, these characters are capable of like having good runs depending on bracket, but don't have good enough matchup spreads, or are really inconsistent, things like that. Low tier, these characters I consider to be mostly unviable, except for like in very strict circumstances. I mean, maybe they have like one really good player at the top of their game. And we're gonna go bottom up. So that's a quick recap. If you have any questions while we're going along, feel free to ask me, chat. And so we're gonna start off with the worst character in the game, in my opinion, and pretty much the character Ganondorf. Ganondorf is a character that you can argue has no winning matchups, and there are no top level players of this character. I think this is one of like 3 characters in the game who didn't have like any representation on the Orion rank, and I'm talking like the Orion rank top 100 for worldwide, the Orion rank top 100 for NA, the Orion rank top 50 for Europe, and the Orion rank top 50 for Japan. And there's no Ganondorf. So the best Ganondorf player is frickin' Rickles. So no offense to Rickles, but he's really good. Honestly, anyone's gonna be surprised by Ganondorf being this low. And then next up, right after Ganondorf, we have, where is he? Little Mac. There he is. Little Mac, very coherent reasonings with same view of Ganondorf for the most part. The character just arguably doesn't win any matchups, and he's even more inconsistent than Ganondorf because of recovery. But he actually has a ground game, which Ganondorf's ground, and he's really fast in the ground. He actually has like some really threatening options, and he is capable of I wouldn't say upsets, but there is at least like one player doing something to this character, and that's Peanut, obviously. Even if it's like most results came on Wi-Fi, there is at least one rep for the character, which you can't say that about Ganondorf. But obviously on paper, the character just can't recover, really struggles against like some zoner type characters. And like as good as the ground game is, a lot of the stuff just isn't even safe on Shield. Alright, we're gonna blow through these low tier characters. Next up, I know I freaking lost this character at like MSU Regional, but Piranha Plant isn't good. These 3 characters, none of them had a single representative on Orion rank, and that's pretty like if I can make like if I wanted to make a tier below low tier and call it like bottom tier, I'll make a bottom tier with just these 3 characters. These guys almost do nothing. Piranha Plant had like one good result when this game one good result when this game first came out, and that was at frickin' Japan Major where Brew got second in the character. This character just ledge traps and it only has one move in neutral. Super susceptible recovery. Well, it's not the most susceptible because it does have a hitbox, but still. And overall, it just doesn't have hitboxes to get it done in this game. And funnily enough, like, I know this doesn't really matter too much, but Plant probably has the worst backer in the game. Well, other than Little Max, but like the worst backer in the game, like that in a game with amazing, where almost every character has an amazing back air. So, all right. Moving on. This is actually where things get a lot harder because I think these three are definitively the worst in my opinion. And if you argued like any character past this point, I wouldn't really blame you, like in terms of the exact order. But for me, the next up is Dr. Mario. He's up here, right? Is he? Okay, there he is. It's Dr. Mario. I know some people do things. I know some people have done things to this character. And it's weird because like, there's a. I think is the Japan player's name Sugamito, the Japan doc. He's the best doc in the world. But he was like I think top 40 on the Orion rank for Japan. And so like, there's obviously like someone really good playing this character. But at the end of the day, he's too slow. He gets edge guarded like he probably gets edge guarded worse than these two than Little Mac and Ganondorf in all honesty. But this character still has some good things going for them, which is why like if you really wanted to make the distinction and be like, you know, we can call this bottom tier, it'd put like those other three characters down there. I'm good with that if you want to do that, because I do think there is a bit of a gap. But either way, like, on paper, this character doesn't win any relevant matchups. The best thing about this character is that, like, he sometimes kills you down B at 60. But a lot of characters sometimes kill you at 60. Alright, next up, I think I'm gonna go with... This is tough. This might be a controversial take, but I think Mii's Sword Fighter is actually this low here. Mii's Sword Fighter does have a sword, so that is a destroyed, I guess. But this character is kind of like Piranha Plant, where he only has one strategy, and that's just spamming Tornado. But Tornado is better than Patui because Tornado nets kills. But no, like this character only has like one of the most linear strategies in the entire game. Again, doesn't win many matchups like at all. Like he probably just beats the characters below him, and it's kind of it. I mean, he probably goes even Plant, to be honest. Worse than Isabelle. We'll get to Isabelle in a second. My thing with Isabelle, that Isabelle actually has like a top level rep, and that makes me confused. Even though I think Isabelle's trash too. Like, and I might put Isabelle next. Like I had Moses ordered though, and I might go back on some of the things I'm saying. Well, I'm going back on some things past me said, but I think I will put Isabelle next. Isabelle is also really bad. But I think Isabelle has more options. I think Isabelle's ledge trapping is actually like really underrated because of Fishing Rod and the little mine thing. Where the heck is Isabelle? There he is. I know that spell. No, Isabelle's ledge trapping is really good because of the Fishing Rod and mine combination, like the upwards Lloyd Rocket. It's pretty solid. But yeah, this character only has Slingshot. She's actually pretty light too, so she's just inconsistent. I think she's lighter than Villager for whatever reason. But the one thing that like kind of saves Isabelle here is that Isabelle has one top level rep, and it's Haka, the European Isabelle, who got top 100 on the Orion rank. Again, I don't think this character really does much. Like she arguably has like an even matchup against Diddy Kong, like whatever, and like maybe an even matchup against Peach. But that's kind of it. Like that's kind of it. Like in terms of like how she impacts like the upper meta. Alright, next up, I'm gonna go with Donkey Kong. Hey HK, what's going on, man? Good to see you. We're doing my tier list here. We're 7 characters in, and I'm going to talk about Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong is really bad. He probably has the worst advantage in the game. Let's be honest here. His recovery is really bad. He has probably the 4th worst recovery we've gone over. Like just how to like Little Mac and stuff. He gets comboed like no other. Like this is the reason why like every zero deaths in the game works in Donkey Kong. And there isn't like a single like he has like some niche counter pick potential. I was talking about like Bacon. It was like some of the people earlier. But like at best, he like beats Cloud, and that's kind of it in terms of like how he impacts top of the meta. He doesn't really. He still loses to Chrom. He still loses like he still loses like Roy. He still loses to Latina. He's just not good enough. And the thing that also doesn't help Donkey Kong's case is that this character doesn't have a top level rep either. Like you could arguably put Isabelle over Donkey Kong because Isabelle has a top level rep. Well, not necessarily a top level rep, but a high level high level rep, right? But still, like, if you want to put Donkey Kong a little higher, that's fine. I don't think he's a mid-tier character, but anyway, let's move on. We're gonna talk about Kirby. Ja 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 is good, but only on Wi-Fi. No, I think he was like, I think he barely got on top 100 for the NA list. But yeah, Ja 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 has like the one rep for his character, one. But no, Kirby can be annoying. Like, he's like slightly annoying for like Palutena in ZSS, but those characters still win those matchups. And he gets kind of stomped on by any character of any sort of speed. He really doesn't like. He's just too slow, and no matter what, too many fast characters and too many good zoners. He doesn't have enough. He doesn't have the tools to zone break, and he doesn't have the tools to keep up with fast characters. So he's just awful. He's really bad. Like, I wouldn't blame people if they put Kirby lower than this. Alright, next up. Tough call here. But I'm going to put Zelda. There's another one of these mediocre zoners. Zelda is really bad again. She might have a winning matchup on Olimar, but that's kind of it in terms of like her high-end meta impact. She again just has she has okay zoning because of Phantom, but she's too slow. Her boxing tools are arguably some of the worst in the game because her rising aerials are trash. And then she has to rely on down tilts and F tilts and neutral, which if she gets the box. And then her getting off ledge is some of the worst. She can't get off ledge, dude. She might be one of the worst characters in the game at getting off ledge. It's really bad. And she doesn't have that cheese potential a lot of other characters have. It's not even because down tilt lightning kick isn't even true. All right, next character. We're gonna go with Ridley. Ridley is weird because again, I think this character is really bad, but this character has a high level rep, so I don't know. Well, it's not that I don't know, but it's weird because what's that guy's name? Frickin' Mezcal, the European Ridley, is a top 20 player in Europe, top 15 player in Europe, and he plays Ridley. And it's weird to me. And it's not, and Ridley has speed, and he has some good combos. But at the end of the day, obviously Ridley gets combo. He has the DK effect. He's the second most comboable character, but after DK, it's really bad. His disadvantage is garbage again. He's right there with Donkey Kong for having the worst disadvantage in the game. He gets kind of edge guarded. It's not as bad as some other characters do on over, but it's still not that great. And he's also not as heavy as he should be for as much as he gets comboed. He's not DK weight, Ganon weight, which is really unfortunate. He does have a command grab, which is really good. Second character, third character we've gone over with command grab, which that's good. But and this command grab's really good. The drag one, it's so good. And I can't believe it took me this long to mention him. But we have King Dedede, who I think in my last case put King Dedede in bottom 5. But I've kind of opened myself up a bit to King Dedede. And I do recognize that there are two high level reps of this character between Atmosk and Zaki. And Zaki is, I think, top 40, top 50 in Japan. And Atmosk he made the Orion rank. It's top 100 for whatever that's worth. But Did you watch Rando D3 beat Leon today? Oh, I think that was D3 Will. I don't remember that one, but yeah, like that was something that that like Nesty was talking to me about, like how D like actually beats all the heavies, including Bowser in the match Bowser, which that's like if you have the winning matchup on Bowser, then that's pretty good. Well, it's okay, I guess, but because Bowser isn't like the best character, but he's still like a relevant character in the meta. And then he does like okay versus like certain like some sorties too, because he has like that massive hammer for disjoint. Like King Dedede does fine. If you wanted to put King Dedede all the way at the bottom, that's okay. All these characters are really close. But like it's hard to ignore that King Dedede has like 2 high level reps, which is more than any of the characters we've gone over. And you could justify King Dedede being in mid tier if you really wanted to. Alright, so I think that's going to close out low tier. And we're going to go into mid tier. And we're going to start it off with a character who I think is trash, but it's hard to argue against the results of the character. And that's King K Rool. I can't believe I'm ranking King K Rool as a mid tier, dude. I've never done this before. King K Rool is really bad, and the counterplay is so obvious, because if he throws Crown, you either A, jump over it and grab him, or B, roll through it and grab him if you have a standard grab. And my character doesn't have a standard grab, and I still beat this character +2. And like, and the edge guarding is so obvious too, because you just drop below him and hit him. And people don't do it. And it's not even like people are that bad, it's just, I think that like, I think people are bad, but people just don't know what they're doing versus his character, feels like. And, like, I don't want to discredit Kirby Kid, who's done a fantastic job with his character. Like, I think he's gotten top 32 at, like, a couple majors with frickin' King K Rool. And you also have Ben Gold, who, like, dominated Australia for, like, 2 years pre-COVID. I don't think he's #1 in Australia anymore. And I think you have the European King K Rool, which I'm looking up right now. Gotta find it, dude. I have all this shit on my phone. Yeah, you have Raffi, the European King K Rool, who was ranked top 40 on the European Orion rank. So if I was doing this purely based on how I feel about the character, they would go down here. He really would. But based off the results, and even based off this character's matchup chart, he does okay. Like surprisingly, like okay against like some like higher end characters. Like he does like okay against oh God, why can't I think of anyone right now? But like he does. He does like okay versus Cloud, for example. Like he could beat Cloud. I don't think he would, but he could. But no, King K Rool is good enough to do something at a big tournament, I guess. I will admit King K Rool is good enough. Yeah, lots of sorties. He's got like King K Rool's got like the DDD effect where he does like fine for sorties for whatever reason. And then, in a similar vein, I also think this character's trash. Incineroar, who I don't think is good at all, but Mystery Soul and Blue Jay, or not Blue Jay, Sky Jay are doing things. So like, again, if this was based purely off how I felt, Incineroar would be like down here somewhere. But again, this character's doing stuff at like tournaments. I think Sky J got freaking like 9th with not Sky J, Mystery Soul got 9th at freaking Port Priority with Incineroar. And like he beat like MVD. So yeah, but Incineroar's got like the obvious like super scary factor of like killing you at like 50 with like revenge revenge side B. And side B isn't okay, and revenge isn't okay. And revenge like super good. It probably makes that snake matchup even. And, like, he probably goes even with, like, some other characters and doesn't lose that bad because of how explosive he is. But again, he is, just like K Rool, he is heavy. This advantage is garbage, though not as garbage because he has Revenge. And his recovery is really bad. But, like, these two characters are characters that I would normally put in low tier. But because I can't ignore that people are having success with these characters. Alright, next up is the third character that I would normally put in low tier, but because people are doing things with the character, I'm going to put him in mid tier. That's a Richter. Again, I think Richter is really bad, but I actually do at the same time think he's better than the other zoners we've gone over. He's got some like really oppressive like zoning, and he has like a +3 on on Ice Climbers. So I haven't gone over yet because I forgot that I forgot to put Ice Climbers in. We'll circle back to Ice Climbers in a second, but no, Richter does okay in like some surprisingly good match. Like he does like even versus Peach, like, which is like good. But no, like the recovery is like obviously really bad. Disadvantage isn't great though. He has the downer makes his disadvantage kind of scary because if you get downer, you just get a beat off the top, and you can't really ignore what Dom and No Nexus have done. The European Richter. I think No Nexus was ranked top 25 in Europe on the Orion rank, and Dom was at least top 100 on the Orion rank. So yeah, Richter, not that bad. It's Richter and Simon, but I like Richter more. And I totally forgot to put Ice Climbers in, so I'm gonna grab them. Ice Climbers are like here. Ice Climbers are weird because they had someone make the PGRU2 with Big D, and then Big D is still like just inside the top 100 of the Orion rank. But that's kind of it. No one else has done anything with this character ever, it feels like. Besides, like, I think Harasan, the Japan Ice Climbers, we need to find at the Japan World Tour, but then didn't do anything offline. But no, these characters is so like they're too inconsistent, and to the point like their strategy just gets messed up if you just hit them with an air and hitbox. Like sword characters fuck them up, zoners destroy them. It is not, and like their combos are so inconsistent and like positionally dependent as well. Like Ice Climbers, I guess, does have a winning matchup like on Sheik according to Void, but like that's not enough. All right, we're gonna go back into mid tier. I just forgot to put Ice Climbers down there. Alright, we're gonna grab Robin and put her just in front of Richter. I really just think that Robin does what Richter does, but a little bit better. I think Robin is overall just more threatening and has like the better projectiles overall and the better ledge trapping. Like Arcfire is a lot more consistent than Holy Fire because Arcfire like trickles off the ledge with the right spacing. Like she's a little bit slower than Richter, but still, the difference is Robin doesn't have a top level rep, so like, if you want to put Robin in low tier, it's justifiable because no one's playing this character, which I don't blame them. I don't think this character is very good, but I think they're threatening at the very least, and they do okay in like certain matchups. All right, moving on. We have Lucario. This character is threatening against like the 10 to 20 characters who don't kill like early consistently, and then just not otherwise. So you would think based off that, I put him in low tier, but then you have freaking Armadillo doing things to this character. Now I have heard murmurings that Armadillo was gonna drop Lucario, and in that case, you could easily drop him in the low tier. I wouldn't really blame you. The character is inconsistent because everyone else just consistently kills early. And he doesn't have that great of a matchup spread either. Like, he goes even with Sheik, I guess. That's kind of it. Alright. It's time for Marth. Yeah. So not me, right? Not putting Marth on low tier. Marth is not good, and I will stand by this. But Ignize makes this character look kind of good. And maybe this character could be high tier if someone mastered how to zone this character. But I'm not ready for that. As for now, he's just a really neutered Lucina to me still. And there isn't any reason why you would play Lucina over Marth. He literally doesn't have a niche. You could argue that Marth should be in bottom tier because he has no niche. But based off the kit, he's alright, I guess. Like, he can do things, and side B is messed up, so. And having, frame 4 on shield is nice. Alright, next up. We have Villager. Now, Villager is weird, because I also think this character is really bad. But then he just randomly has a winning match against Diddy Kong. And, like, randomly does okay versus, like Peach. And, like, randomly does okay versus Wolf. And then he randomly just has like a higher end player playing him in Kept. And I think Kept was top 50 on the Japan Orion ring. Yeah, he was. But no, this character has like good zoning. But like at the end of the day, he's just an okay zoner. I think he's slightly better than Robin and Richter because he gets to get back to stage. So. And he has just like okay boxing tools, like his like nair and down air. But anyway, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about Banjo and Kazooie. Banjo and Kazooie are annoying as hell, and I get why people don't like this character. And I don't like him either. I'll be clear on that. I think this character is really annoying to fight. I don't think this character is at all fun to fight against. And if you want to hate Banjo, hate Banjo. I don't like this character either. But this character does some things. And Owl, Owl BBS, the European Banjo, is like top 40 in Europe for whatever that's worth. And like he's mobile enough, and the kid is good enough to the point where I'm gonna call him a mid tier. He does like I don't think he has like any like incredible matchups or anything. But the kid's just too solid to not be in this area. But at the same time, no one's really doing anything with Banjo. So, like, if you could put him lower if you want to. Alright, moving up. I think there is, like, a gap after Banjo, by the way. But we're going to go to... Like, but I'm not going to make that gap and, like, visualize into tier list. We're going to go to Mii Gunner. Captain Sito is really good. And that's Mii Gunner. Just a good zoner. And Captain Sito, I think, is like top 5, top 10 in Mexico. Probably just top 10. Top 10 in Mexico. He was top 100 on the Orion rank, I think. Well, he definitely was. I don't remember where he was. And like he was like top 75 in the NA Orion rank. And he did really good in like the Smash World Tour qualifiers. And Mii Gunner is overall like she has a charge shot. She has like a good out of shield. She has good zoning. And her character is good. Like I think like she's a way better zoner than like not way better, but I think her zoning is just a little bit better than like Villager and Robin and stuff. All right, moving on. We're gonna talk about a character I think is really, really overrated. And I don't know why this character is suddenly being like thought of like really highly in this game. But that's Pit. I don't know why people are just suddenly playing him and like thinking he's like really good. Like I don't get why Shiny Mark's doing it. I don't get like like Shiny Mark's a big guy who's like, yo, I'm gonna play Pit and I'm gonna make Pit look awesome and I'm gonna use Pit for Pikachu's bad matchups. But like, why? This character doesn't have anything unfair. And like, I don't know why Pit players and like people who like want to play Pit think this character's up here. I don't get it. He's not. This character, in a game where everyone has at least one stupid thing, he has no stupid things. He's way too honest. He has like some fast smash attacks. Like, yeah, good for you, man. Your aerials, like, they're fine. They're not exceptional, but they're good. He has like he's not explosive. He's not gonna kill you at like 70. This character just doesn't do enough in a game where characters are ridiculous. Like the power creep goes super hard in Ultimate, and he doesn't like have any fantastic matchups either to make up for it. Like there isn't a single like higher end character this character just has like wins against, which is like what helps you put like pushes you up into this tier. To be like a high tier character, you have to have winning matchups against against like mid tiers, or have like some like niche against like the higher end meta, and Pit just doesn't have it. Alright, next up, we're gonna go Bowser Jr. Yoda Cage is pretty good, and that's the only Bowser Jr. player. But he is pretty good. I think he was top 100 on the Orion rank. This character, is explosive, for where he'll just randomly kill you with like side B up B. And that's like that's not okay. And he has some like good boxing tools, but he gets stuffed out too easily. He gets struggled too easily. He gets edge guarded really hard. Like if your character has a move that doesn't send into tumble, they just edge guard his character for free. Like any character has like a long lasting nair. Isn't there? No, it's not a Bowser Jr. player. But like, yeah, the character just doesn't do enough. Like they're good and they have some things, but everyone in this tier is good and has some things. But it's not amazing enough, right? Alright, moving on to there he is, Toon Link. Behind Bowser Jr. Toon Link has some good things. He has bomb confirms. That's good. Bomb confirms are nice. And he's fast. Being fast is good. He's like some good zoning. He's just a super neutered version of Young Link, but he still has some relevance in the meta. His combo's a bit different. And clearly this character has, people who want to play them. There were 2 people in the Japan top 50 Orion rank who played freaking Young Link. There's Sigma, obviously, who's, the big one. And then there's also, who is this? Manzoku. I don't know who that is, but he was ranked top 30 in Japan, so there's people playing this character. So I was just looking to see in the EU Toon Link I might have been missing, but no, there's people playing this character. I just don't think he does enough, and again, he doesn't have any significant matchups. Alright, next up. I'm kind of sad, because I think I'm underrating him here. And he's kind of an outlier based on the list has gone so far. But it's Lucas. This character is annoying, and is kind of good. So, his aerials are really good. He has some of the best ledge trapping in the entire game. Because of, between down tilt, not down tilt, F tilt, down smash, and PK freeze. And it's just super non-committal edge guarding and ledge trapping. And then he has a good neutral because of PK fire. And his combo routes are kind of dummy. He has nair resets and down air resets and Zair chains. But no one at top level can seem to figure it out. I think there's one really good representative of this character. I think it's the EU guy. Yeah, it's Nitox, the European Lucas, who was ranked top 15 in Europe with Lucas. So I think the character is good, but we haven't seen it at its peak yet. And I could see the character being high tier, but as of right now, he's just not. We need to see more. He has some decent matches, and he has an okay matchup or two, top level. But it's just not enough. He arguably goes even with Samus. So. Alright. I think a couple more characters in this tier. We're getting through it though. Next up is Mewtwo. I wouldn't think Mewtwo was this good unless Wadi did good the character. And Wadi has done good the character, but it's literally only him. No one else has ever done anything ever of this character. And like not even Wadi wants to continue playing him. So like and again, he has like some okay matchups. He has like Confusion's kind of dumb. Like he does okay versus like Samus, and but I wouldn't say he wins the matchup. But yeah, Mewtwo is like good enough. He can be good. He can do some things. That's kind of it. Alright, lastly, I think this is gonna be the last character I put in mid tier. And that is gonna be Jigglypuff. Again, Jigglypuff, the character I don't normally think I would rank this high, but she has some things, right? She has like pound rest, down air rest. She does okay in like some matchups, right? She's like kind of annoying for like VSS and Palutena. Probably goes like even with Diddy Kong. Probably does okay versus like I don't know, like I'm not Cloud or Chrom because those characters just like sorted her out, but you know, has obviously like the comeback potential of like rest and just in itself, which is really good. And Base Mage is really good. Base Mage is really good. I don't think it was quite top 50 in the Orion rank. I think it was top 75, but still. Mega Man, I cannot bottom tier. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get the Mega Man Ike. Don't worry, Chan. You'll hear me complain about Ike soon enough. I promise. But anyway, yeah, Jigglypuff just isn't good enough. They're trash. I mean, in some cases, yeah. Every character's trash in this game. Alright, on to mid-tier. Woo! Well, no, on the high tier, rather. Let's go. And we're going to start off with a character who I think has really fallen off since quarantine ended, and that's Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt has good zoning. It has can. Which is like a worse grenade like combo break. Because he sometimes died to grenade. Because he sometimes died to can. And the character this character probably beats most characters like that are below him, but he has like no winning matchups above him. He might beat like I don't know Sheik. But that's kind of it. Other than that, like Raito has not been that good like post quarantine. I think he just got onto the Orion rank. He was like 96, I think. Yeah, he was 96. I just looked. But anyway, we're gonna move on. Alright, next up, I think I'm going to put Rosalina. Rosalina and Luma, I don't think have the kit capable of being a high tier character. I think I would put them, if this was up to my opinion, like solely my opinion, I would put Rosalina in mid tier. But you can't ignore that the Buzz is the top 10 player in the world, and he mains Rosalina. Like, yeah, he counterpicks, like, sometimes in bracket, but, like, he's, like, 60% Rosalina at least. And then you can't ignore Homiko, the freaking European Rosalina, who's, like, almost top 10 in Europe. Like, what? Yeah, Homika is freaking 6th in Europe on the Orion rank. Number 6! There's a Rosalina who's number 6 in Europe based on the Orion rank. Which is crazy to me. So there's 2 high-level reps of this character, and if Kirihara ever plays the game again, then yeah, there'll be 3. But like, but no, like this character has some really good reps, and they do okay in some matchups. Like they they probably beat Ness, and they probably beat. They probably do okay versus Samus, and they do okay versus Pac, and they do okay versus like Pac-Man. They do okay versus Snake. Like, she's a good counter pick character. So maybe no, she probably is high tier. Like, based on my thinking now, because she's in theory like a good counter pick character because she beats Ness. She probably goes. She at least goes even with Pac-Man. She at least goes even with Snake. She at least goes even with Samus. So like, there's reasons to play this character, and she's a good counter pick character. So I think like what I said, Rosalina's kind of good. And there's a lot of tech in this character too, which I don't know too much about, but I just know that this character has a place in the meta. So. And speaking of a character who doesn't have a place in the meta, though I will die on this hill of them actually being really good, and that's Corrin. The reason why Corrin doesn't have a place in the meta is because there are like 6 better sword characters you could be playing the Corrin. And you could just play like, I don't know, Byleth or Cloud or Roy or Chrom or Aegis. Like, you could play any of those characters. But Corrin still has some things she can do. Like, this character still has good combos, still kills like consistently early, has like decent mobility, and has like a okay zoning game. Like, she's good, and she has like one of the best advantage states in the game because upper is so good. Like, this character isn't trash. I'm tired of people putting Corrin in low tier. And people will say that, well, there isn't a top level Corrin player. Well, joke's on you, there's 2! There's 2! There's 2 Corrin players, okay? There's LY, who's like top 40 in Japan. And then there's Shattuck, who's like top 75 in NA. So, like, don't give me that there isn't any Corrin players. There's really like 2 really good ones at least. Okay, anyway, moving on from Corrin, we're going to talk about a character that I suspect I'm going to rant on for a little bit here. And I lied. I changed my mind. I didn't lie. I'm going to put him anyway. And that is Mennonite. Mennonite is not low tier, guys. Don't put him in low tier. He's also not mid tier. This character's kind of good. This character is low-key one of the best counter characters in the game. This character has a winning matchup on Palutena. Mennonite has a winning matchup on Palutena. That is better than every character we've gone over. That is a better niche to have than every character we've gone over so far. Having a winning matchup on Palutena. And the reason is that this character 0 to death Palutena at like 0 to like 30%. The combos just work on her. This character also destroys Rosalina. He destroys... He's really good against Mewtwo. He's really good against Rob. He at least goes even with like both Rob and Game & Watch. He at least goes even with like Samus. And he beats Jigglypuff. He beats like a good amount of characters we've already put. He beats like Jigglypuff. He beats Mewtwo. He beats he beats Lucas, but he beats Bowser Jr. He beats Banjo. He beats Lucario. Like, he beats a lot of characters, and he has a good place in the meta. And he just 0 to death some really good characters. He has a winning matchup on Palutena. That is insane for a niche character like this to have a winning matchup on Palutena. He's literally like one of 4 of Palutena's losing matchups, or one of 3. Like, this character has such a good place in the meta, and people don't know it. And he's like good on his own merits too. Because you have 2 top level, like, not, well, at least high end level players play him. You have Ye and Bonk, who were both like top 65 on the Orion rank. So anyway, Mennonite rant over. Mennonite is good. Stop underrating him. He has a good place in the meta, I swear. Alright, moving on. We're going to talk about Luigi. Luigi's weird because there's only one player who does things with this character, and that's obviously Elegant. But then no one else does anything. But also Elegant's like top 10 in the world. Well, almost top 10. He's at least top 15. But no, this character is obviously like in a super like weird like polarizing area where It's so hard for him to get in, but then once he does get in, he gets the damage and he does the stuff. He's like a really bad version of like Peach or like Chrom and what they do. But this character is piloted by like a top 15 player, and you can't ignore that. Like it's the same reason why you can't ignore it for like Rosalina. Except I think Luigi's standing has been more legitimate than Rosalina's standing. Like Luigi does like has like even matchup versus Mario, has an even matchup versus like Diddy Kong. You know, like what and any character that zero death like works on better, he beats those characters. So like, yeah. This character has a lot of merit, and I don't think people like underrate Luigi, but I don't think they understand why Luigi is in the spot where he is right now in the meta. Alright. Next up, we're going to talk about Wii Fit Trainer. This character goes dummy with deep breathing, and then you don't have deep breathing, and then you're not as good, but he's still okay. But in theory, with deep breathing, this character is ridiculous. And yeah, there's only like one really good player of this character in Varun. And his character does get kind of stomped on by like ZSS and like Pikachu, like Game Watch and like Wii Palutena. And actually, I'm kind of talking myself into it. Is Wii Fit down here? No, I can't ignore deep breathing. Deep breathing is too good. Deep breathing alone would make any character high tier, because it just amplifies their entire kit. Like, yeah, this character, like, and maybe in the future we see, like, Wii Fit trainers do things. I'm really thinking about it now. Is Wii Fit actually this good? I'm gonna go against my judgment here. I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this. But the kit, like, isn't that good. Like, rushdown characters destroy the kit. This character only, like, stalls on the ledge. I'm sorry. That hurt. I didn't want to do that to Wii Fit Trainer. Well, I didn't want to do that to deep breathing. But no, I think that's fair. Because there's only one really good player as a character. And they're not even getting like the best results. Like Varun, I think is barely like top 100 in the NA. All right. Anyway, moving on. Hopefully I don't get too much flack for that Wii Fit Trainer thing. Though if they watch the video, they'll understand what I'm going through. All right. Time to talk about another niche, like a character who's like a pretty good niche right now in the meta. And that is... Wait, why can't I find him? I can spell... There is Me Brawler. Me Brawler is like high key, like one of the best like stage conflict characters in the game. Because of Heli Kick and Stripper. And you can just... And if you go to Town City, you can just pick a Heli Kick. If you go to like Yoshi's, you can just pick Stripper. And his character kills stupid early, but then gets destroyed by zoners. So, and like it's not even like anyone's like solo me brawler making waves, but it's just like a lot of people are secondary in this character and like making waves with the secondary, like Esam and Lair. And you can't ignore like the obvious niche this character has. This character like can do things, and it's probably like you can probably make this. I think you can make this character work as a solo character and like get like good results at like big tournaments with Me Brawler. All right, moving on. We have Falco. Mr. Falco Lombardi hits you at 0, and then you can't play the game until you're like not 80%. And that's super cool. But he's also kind of slow, so he's kind of inconsistent for that. And his recovery isn't the best, so he's also kind of inconsistent for that. But you can't ignore what Tilde's doing. He's like a top 50 player in the world right now. So yeah, Falco, kind of in not really a niche, but like he's just a weird character right now, where he can do it, and he has done it. And you can't ignore the results, but I don't really know what matchups this character will like does that well in like high tier and like high in meta. I don't think he has a single winning matchup in high meta, but he probably just destroys all the heavy characters. I'll give him that. And he's clearly good enough just based on what like Tilde's doing, so. Alright, moving on to Ike. And if Chan, if you're still in chat, this is for you. Ike is weird to me. Because I legitimately think Ike could be like a Gatekeeper type character, right? But then there's literally no Ike players, and I don't get it. I'm going to double check like the Orion ranks really quick, see if I can find like an Ike player in any of these. None on Japan. Yeah, I know he's on EU because Yes wasn't on there. There's none in EU. Let me just check NA really quick to see if Yez is on here. Yeah, so there's literally like no high-end reps of this character besides Yez, who I maybe probably just didn't qualify for the Orion rank. I imagine he would be on there if he did qualify. But I refuse to ignore this character and how stupid he can be. He has freaking so much. He has a sword. So it's a disjoint, okay? He has some easy combos that just deal so much damage. He is up B, has frame 5 super armor, and does 25% and kills at like 90 on the ledge. Like, what? Why? I think I died. I literally died in bracket for Ike up B at like 70 on the ledge. Like, what is Ike, dude? This character makes me so upset. But I can acknowledge that he has a lot of flaws. He is slow. He doesn't do particularly well against like anyone in top level in like the top meta. But he is stupid, and he is really stupid, and I hate him. But he's not that good. He's just a good high tier. I won't. He's just a good high tier. I hate Ike, dude. Alright, next up, Pichu. Alright, time for your Pichu lesson, guys. Because I'm tired of all you freaking idiots saying that your character loses at the Pichu. And then proceed to put Pichu in high tier. And so then you're just contradicting opinions. Because if Pichu had the matchup chart that you idiots claim he does, by saying that, oh, he beats Roy, and he beats Joker, and he beats Palutena, and he beats Chrom, and he beats Wolf, and he beats Pikachu, and he beats Mr. Empire, and he beats Shulk, and he beats Sonic, and he beats he doesn't beat those characters, guys. He's too inconsistent. Pichu dies at like 60 to any move in the game. Pichu is too inconsistent to have those matchup charts against you. And yeah, it's reflected when you guys tier him and put him like in high tier around this range, but it's not reflected when you talk about his matchups. It's not! So stop saying that your character loses to Pichu when he doesn't, and you could just kill him at 60. Alright? This character is too inconsistent. The weight is a huge factor here of Pichu. And yeah, he might win some of those matchups, like he might beat CSS. He might beat, I don't know. I don't really know who else he beat up there. he definitely doesn't beat Snake. I don't know why I wanted to say Snake, but he might beat Byleth. I'll leave that one. He might beat Byleth. But his character doesn't beat all your stupid top tiers. They don't. Pichu just isn't consistent enough. Like, yeah, he has combos that are explosive. But then you just kill him at 60. So like, people when they're talking about their matches when it involves Pichu, don't weigh how inconsistent Pichu is. But they do it when they talk about tier lists. And so I want to get that straight to you guys, because people don't know what they're talking about when it comes to Pichu. They don't. All right. Anyway, Pichu variant over. Pichu good at high tier. Has a place in the meta. Too inconsistent to get like top end results at like really big tournaments, but they can get really good results anyway. Like from time to time. Alright, next up is Ken. I know that Ken is a lot more popular than Ryu, and we'll get to Ryu later, but I don't get it. Why are you guys playing Ken? I get he's a little faster. But he's more inconsistent, and the combos are harder, and he out of all 4 of the fighting game characters, he has the hardest trouble getting in. So why is... So yes, I get that Andreas Van is a top 5 player in Europe, and he mainly uses Ken. I get that Vendetta, but prefers Ken over Ryu. I get it. I get that Takara prefers Ken over Ryu. I freaking get it. I get it. But I will not compromise on the fact that he's just on paper worse than the other ones. He's generally more inconsistent because his neutral is worse and his combos don't work as good as the other ones. Ken is better. If you think that way, fine. But I won't compromise on this. It's not even saying Ken. It's not even saying Ken is bad. I just don't think people understand how good Ryu is. That's my thing. It's not even saying, it's not a Ken thing. It's a Ryu thing. Because Ryu is messed up, and people just don't realize it. All right, next up, Hero. I legitimately think that Hero could be a top tier character. I think this character has so much potential. Cause like I could foresee a world where Hero players like master the way of going through the menu, and then master playing neutral with their opponent, and then master like what the best option is, and then they consistently get all the buffs. Cause when Hero has all 3 buffs, we have Oomph, Psych Up, and Accelerado. He is the best character in the game. He is. And this character legitimately has like some of the best like counter potential in the game, because if he gets Bounce, he beats all zoners. Bounce is the best anti-projectile tool in the entire game. This character just has so much random like bullshit too, because like Oomph, Psych Up, like backer or downer breaks full shield, you'll die at like 30 to like Hero whenever he breaks his shield. This character has like really good killing. And, like, this character has, like, decent out of shield with, like, a frame 7 uppy. And, like, a good recovery, too. Like, this character has what you need, but I don't think it's been fully realized. And the freaking Aka Kariso was incredible. Top 10 in Japan. But he's the only hero doing things. And I really wanted to put Hero higher. But I can't justify it now. But when Hero's popping off, and it's like, people are talking about, like, Hero is a top... And people are saying, oh, Hero's broken, he's top tier. I was a Hero believer first. I believe in Hero. I think Hero is broken. Alright, moving on. But yeah, based on like the matchups, like Hero doesn't do that well, I guess, in like the top level meta. Like he beats Steve. That's kind of it. Alright, Bayonetta is next. She combos you forever, and then she can't kill you, which makes her inconsistent. She also has, like, kind of bad neutral, too. Like, her neutral's kind of bad. But she just hits a character, and they're going for a ride. But then she's just not consistent enough after the fact. So, like... and it's not even just, like, a lack of top-level representation for Bayonetta. You have Bloom Forever, Lima, and Mistake. And I think it was Lima who got banned. It was one of them, Lima Mistake. So you have the reps there for Bayonetta to be, like, talked about. But no, Bayonetta, I've always thought Bayonetta was, like, actually, like, really underrated ever since Ultimate came out. And it wasn't until, like, post-quarantine people actually started catching to that opinion. And so I'm glad, because I was freaking right. But no, I think it's about where Bayonetta, like, sits in the meta for a while. Like, it's, like, good high tier. Not consistent enough to, like, be, like, a major force at, like, tournaments. But she can be, like, scary, so. Moving on is the freaking Bowser. I hate this freaking character, dude. Bowser is so dumb because he doesn't win any matchups or anything, but he's just has some of the craziest snowball effect and some of the craziest like cheese in the game. Because he'll just randomly like kill you at 80, or just kill you at 60, or he'll just get the lead and like deal 7%, or he'll get like 30 off a fire breath. And then you can't kill him sometimes. He lives So why does he have like by far the highest weight? It's not even like it's Bowser. It's like Bowser got like 135, and it's not even like next up is Donkey Kong at like 132, or like King K. Rool like 132. It's like King K. Rool at like 126. Dude, why is there like such a big drop after Bowser, like in the weight? Like everyone else actually dies in this game, but Bowser never dies. That's freaking dumb. And he has like the best command grab in the game for some reason. Well, maybe the best. Who knows? His command grab, side B's broken. That's what I know. He has one of the best shield options in the game. Frame 6, Whirling Fortress. And he just doesn't. And it's not even. And his meta threat doesn't even like that bad when you talk about his. Because he doesn't hard lose to a lot of characters in this game. He like hard loses to like Diddy Kong and like Pikachu. And you could argue he only had like -1 to the rest of top tier. And that's definitely good enough. Like Falco destroys him. And that's kind of it. In terms of characters just destroy him. But like, you could definitely argue there's more, for sure. But like, I don't know. Like this character is definitely good enough. There's a reason why Leon is a top 50 player in the world. There's a reason why like Hero is a top like 15 player in Japan. So I think like Dark Thunder is even like on the Orion rank. So alright, moving on. We have Link. We've seen Link in the past. Link, we know, can get to resolve things, so T is the Link. But T's been inactive, so we haven't seen Link anything. And so, like, so this is just literally, like, him, like, going through the motions and just staying in the high tier. And if you think Link's lower than this, then fine. I'm not going to argue, because we haven't seen Link anything. I think there's, like, 2 European Links that are doing things. Oh, there's just one. It's freaking Otokuni is the European Link player I was thinking of. And that's it. That's the only Link player who's been doing things. Otokuni was 34th on the Orion rank for Europe. And he has some good things about him. Like the Infinite, obviously, is just potential, but that's not real potential. That's just a combo that you'd like to never get in bracket because it's too hard. But he has a sword, so it is like good enough for like other sword characters and other zoners. And you know, Bomb is good, so he's definitely good enough. We've seen it. I don't think he's much better than this, to be honest. I don't think he has like hero potential. But anyway, like I'm super tempted to put hero up here. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm gonna compromise and put a Link down. So like here. Actually, you could argue you should be like, no, it's so hard to do with a Link to an order that he did like post pre-quarantine. No, I'm gonna keep him up there. I'm gonna trust my initial judgment on Link when I made this tier list like 2 days ago. Alright, next up is Kazuya. This character does hit you, and you die after like 2 hits. And it's true, but he doesn't get in. Ever. I think he's better than Ken, because they both have trouble getting in, and then once Kazuya actually gets in, he gets more reward. And it's so hard to like consistently hit the Kazuya strings, like in bracket too. It's like why Ice Climbers isn't good, except Kazuya is a lot better. Like Kazuya's combos are universal and always kill. Ice Climbers combos are positional and don't always kill. But they're both technical. I would say Ice Climbers are a lot harder than Kazuya, but no, Kazuya's around this point. Kazuya just doesn't have enough. It feels like, I don't know. It's weird. Because at one point I thought Kazuya was like top 20, and now he's just fallen off in like every tier list I made for like after that. Alright, next up, Min. This character got nerfed so hard, dude. I don't think people realize that. This character was in my opinion, top 10 before she got nerfed. And now she's like barely like she's like a top high tier character now to me. And that's because people don't talk about the change that they made to arms when they hit shield. They have less shield stun. So a lot of characters can just, dash shield into Min, and then she can't do anything about it. And then she gets edge guarded. And then she usually gets, like, out damaged. And, like some of her, like, kill confirms don't work anymore. So. And she does okay. Like, she has some, like, good matchups in the higher end meta. Like Cloud, for example. Like, Cloud and, like, Chrom. She does good versus those characters. Like Ness too, probably. But it's not enough to make up for like how much hard she got hit and like how bad she loses to like every other top tier now. Like she had arguably a winning matchup against Aegis like free patch, and now Aegis beats her. just put that in perspective. All right, moving on. Next up is gonna be Captain Falcon. I think at one point I did put Captain Falcon like really high up there, but I've kind of realized that there's really only because you have Fatality, who's the best Falcon, right? And then you have Ogi from Europe. Yeah, Ogi from Europe. And then Jogibu and Air. So like this character has a lot of reps. But I think the matchup part isn't good enough. She loses like too bad to like a lot of characters above him, like Pikachu and ZSS and Palutena and Fox and Wolf and Snake and Shulk and Sonic and like so this character just doesn't have it at the higher end of the meta. But he's still really good and he's still really scary. Like if people put Falcon higher than this, I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't. I might end up moving Falcon up by the end of this. Who knows? But so Falcon just doesn't have enough to me right now. He just is too. His matchups just aren't good enough. So if you put him up here, I wouldn't blame you, and I might put him up there. I might circle back to Falcon later. Alright, I think this is gonna be like the last character I put in high tier. I didn't write it down. Sora is going to be the first character we talk about in Gatekeeper tier. Sora did win a major. Zachary won one of him. Actually, no, I shouldn't mind. I'm putting Sora down here. Some of the matchup charts for Sora are really bad. I think matchup charts, like people say Sora has like 20 losing matchups, and some will say you lose like 10 to 15. Like, if you want to put Sora in Gatekeeper, fine. But it's just we haven't seen enough of Sora. At least not yet. And Zachary quickly went back to Joker after that little stint with Sora. Oh yeah, Sora's another character that just beats, by the way. I forgot to mention I was talking about him. But anyways, so yeah, Sora just does like Sora's weird. He's one of the characters I know the least about right now. I just know he just came out. He's obviously the most recent character, and I just don't know enough about him to give a confident opinion on him. I'm gonna say this is about where he belongs. But if you disagree, that's fine. If you want to put him higher, that's fine. Right now I'm thinking about it. I'm putting Falcon up. There's too many. There's too many like four high end reps of this character, and he gets good results. I don't care. All right. Anyway. At the bottom of Gatekeeper, we're going to put Olimar. Olimar does have some really good winning matchups. Like, he beats ZSS. And he beats, like, I don't know if he beats too many other characters, to be honest. He probably beats Falcon, but, like, the thing about Olimar is that some rushdown characters destroy him. There are some restaurant characters who go really dummy against them, and like Zelda randomly has like a +2 against them too. Like, well, not a +2, like a +1 at least. And so it's just weird. And it's not like there's a lack of Olimar players. There's like the Buzz and Shuton, who are the main guys. But even like now they don't fully like Shuton secondaries Aegis for like a lot of the Olimar's bad matchups, and Olimar has like 20 plus bad matchups, dude. It's actually like not that great. And I don't even think Olimar has like the high end like cheese that like Falcon has, because Falcon's combo game is a dummy. All right, I'm gonna move on. Talk about Sephiroth. Gonna put him in between Falcon and Olimar. Sephiroth is real. I think Sephiroth is pretty good. He has some matchups he kind of struggles in. He's so light too. Like, why didn't they make him so light? If he wasn't so incredibly light, I'd probably put him a little higher. But he is way too light, which makes him inconsistent, right? He's got like the Mewtwo effect, where he's a big light character. Oh, there's the ZSS effect, where he's a big light character. Like, why? Why'd you do that to him? But no, he just outranges so many characters. Like, he has a winning match against Mario. You know, which is that's good. That's like the best thing he has going for him. He might have a winning match against Sonic. But yeah, like he does. He has some. Like he's definitely good enough. Like Ned is really good, but Ned is like the only one. But I think Sephiroth's kit is more defined into my like better overall than like Sora's, Min-Min's, and Kazuya's. I'm confident putting Sephiroth up in Gatekeeper despite him only having one really good high in rep, and Ned. All right, next up we have Ness. Ness, man, this character's dumb, dude. This character just mashes buttons and has a good neutral. And has a lot of results. Send, Gact, those guys are pretty good. But yeah, but he just randomly has like winning matches. He beats Pikachu, which is really important. He beats Pikachu. And then he like arguably like beats Diddy Kong. And he arguably like beats I don't know, like Samus. Like so like he has a really nice spot in the meta right now. Like he's like an like yeah, he's good. He's good. Next up is Terry. This character goes dummy. I acknowledge that Terry has a consistent neutral, and I acknowledge that he will get like 5 or 6 hits and then kill you. And he's really consistent at that. And he has the results to back it up. There's a good amount of people who play Terry. But I will concede. Obviously, this character has some losing matchups. That's a lot of them. He gets edge guarded pretty hard because his vertical recovery is bad. I don't think this spoiler you guys right now. I think Ryu is right next to Terry. I think it is my last year list where I had Ryu and Terry right next to each other. I think Ryu is ever so slightly better than Terry, but I think I think they're in a very similar niche where they both have the more consistent neutrals than Kazuya and Ken, where they go about it differently. Where Terry will zone break because of crack shoot, but then Ryu will zone himself because of fireball. And I think fireball has been more consistent than crack shoot, which is why I think Ryu's slightly better. And I also think Ryu has better disadvantage than Terry because of focus, and the recovery is also better because you have Tatsu, focus, and up B. And while you could argue that Terry's like horizontal recovery is better because of crack shoot, his vertical recovery is way worse because sometimes helicopter kick doesn't snap ledge and it doesn't poke through the stage like Shoryuken does. But both characters are really good. If you think Terry's better than Ryu, I won't argue because I think they're really close. But I've been on this Ryu is the best FGC train for so long, and I really don't want. I'm just not gonna go back on it now. And yes, there are Ryu players. There's like most Ken players play Ryu as well. There's that one Japan Ryu who got like 35th or something on the RN rank. So yeah, Ryu is really good. Terry's also really good. I just thought it was more appropriate to like talk about them together. Alright, next up is Byleth. Byleth is piloted by the best player in the world. But then no one else does anything with him. So what does that mean for Byleth? I think it means he's about here. Or she's about here, because I'm using the female one. Byleth has a sword. But then, like, arguably, Byleth doesn't beat any of the top, like, the higher end characters. Like, she probably beats a couple of them. I wouldn't doubt it. But, no, it's just that Byleth, it doesn't have it right now. Like, well, she does have it, obviously. She has, like, she has everything you need to win. But not everything that, like, she's not super broken, right? Like, just in terms of the kit. Like, I think this is top 30. Like, I think, so, like, Byleth is top 30, I guess, in my opinion. Anyway. Time to move on, and we're moving on to a character I think we're actually going to talk about 2 overrated characters back to back. Or maybe 3, based on what I'm feeling. We're going to talk about Sheik. I don't get... No, actually, my... I'll be going to finish in a second. Sheik... I don't get why people suddenly think Sheik is like top 15 or top 10. This character's too inconsistent. She's too light, and sometimes the combos just don't work. And I don't get why a lot of people are also saying their character loses to Sheik now. Like, again, it's like the Pichu thing all over again. Like, you top tier players don't lose to Sheik. She's just not consistent enough. And it's also hard because Void doesn't go into anything. So it's hard to judge how he would impact like Sheik's standing. And then so that leaves the best Sheik player in the world right now to be like Aim and Kameme, who were both like top 40. I think Aim was top 20 and Kameme was top like 40 on the Panoride rank. So yeah, anyway, I think that's gonna wrap it up for Sheik. She's really good. She's really good. She has a lot of potential. She could potentially be like top 20 in the future, but I don't think it's the case right now. And I forgot to go over Mega Man. I'm so stupid. I wanted to put Mega Man here. Mega Man is in a weird spot because the best Mega Man right now is probably Repo. And he is top 15 in Japan based on their iron rank. But then there's a hard fall off after that. Because Kameme doesn't really play the character anymore. And yeah, Mega Man has some good matchups, right? Like, he like, at least goes even versus Joker. He beats Snake. I could see him beating, like, Yoshi. Or I could see him beating, like, Sheik. I could see him beating Ness. Like, he has some good matchups. And he's definitely a really viable character. He's also kind of hard, too, which doesn't help. But he's also not super unfair, either. Like, he'll sometimes kill you with, like, Metal Blade up tilt. But that's kind of it. And if you wanted to put Mega Man a little higher, I wouldn't blame you. Alright, next up, I think I'm going to talk about... Alright, it's time to talk about DSS. Alright, I gotta keep this brief so I don't go on a full, like, 40 minutes DSS rant. DSS loses too many matchups to be top tier. She loses like 20 matchups. At best. At best. And this is optimistically. She loses only like 15. I am like actually realistic with my matchup charts. I'm going to talk about when I talk about DSS. At best, DSS is at the bottom of top tier character. And I truly think that. Like, she hard loses to Pikachu, to Joker, to Wolf, to Aegis, to Fox, to Shulk, to Roy and Chrom. She loses the Pokemon trainer. She loses to Olimar. She loses to Inkling, she loses Diddy Kong. Like, she loses to a lot of characters. A lot. And people don't acknowledge that for some reason. And, she does have a place in high-end meta. I will acknowledge that. She has a place. She has a place. She can beat some characters, right? Because, she has a winning matchup on Snake, and she has a winning matchup on Samus, and she has a winning matchup on Peach. And based on those alone, you could put her in top tier. And I wouldn't really argue too much, I guess, but... Anyway. We're gonna talk about Diddy Kong. I think Diddy Kong's really overrated in the current meta. Like, the only, really high-end character that Diddy Kong beats, in my opinion, is, Palutena. And that's kind of it. And, I think people don't realize that Diddy Kong is just a mediocre boxer without Banana. And even with Banana, he's a mediocre boxer. It's just he has to be, a little bit afraid of Banana. And then he's just inconsistent because he can't get back to stage. Can't get back to stage sometimes. He gets comboed actually really easily too. And his disadvantage isn't he has monkey flip. I'm not gonna say that. Do that. And he does have mix-ups, and he's a really good character. I won't dispute that. Alright. Now I think the last character in Gatekeeper is gonna be Cloud. I think Cloud is just too inconsistent to be a top tier. And he doesn't have he doesn't have a ton of winning matches against top tier either. He's really good, and you can definitely do things with Cloud. But I wouldn't say that he's that much better than everyone in this tier. Alright, I'm gonna revise this right now. I've been thinking about it, and I think based on how I structured this, I have to put the SS up here. Because I think she does win more matchups against the high-end characters than people in Gatekeeper. But I think she's a low end top tier character. Alright, next up is gonna be Yoshi. I'm gonna put her just behind the SS. This character goes kind of dummy. And only loses 12 matchups. 12 to 15 matchups. This character is actually really good. And Yoshidora is a top 15 player in the world based on the Orion rank. Top 10 in Japan. At the very least, he's top 10 in Japan and top 25 in the world. At the very least, you have to give that to Yoshidora. Even if you disagree with him being 12th in the Orion rank. But no, this character does a lot of things. This character has really good pressure between Nair and down air and forward air. And overall, it's a really good combo game. Pretty easy character too. Has some good matchups. This character, God, I was onto something. This character, arguably, beats Inkling, which is really good. Arguably beats Greninja. And he's just on a really good spot because he goes even with most of the top tier. It's Yoshi's good. I don't think he beats any really good characters, but he's good. Alright, next up is Greninja. Greninja is definitely overrated, but he's still really good. For whatever reason, this is the freaking Pichu effect again, where so many people think that their character loses to Greninja. No, you don't. You don't lose to Greninja. All of you don't. Roy players, you don't. Shulk players, you don't. Pokemon Trainer players, you don't. It's not as bad as Pichu, but Greninja doesn't beat all your characters. His auto skill is garbage. Any characters with really good pressure destroy him. Fox and Mario in particular, and like is like destroy this character. Pikachu destroys this character, but he is really good. He has a. I will acknowledge he has a winning matchup on Palutena. But that's kind of it. That's all. That's really it for like in terms of who I think you super beats up there. All right, next up. All right, I'm gonna put. Inkling. So this is a bit of demotion from where I put Inkling last time. I think she's still really good, and she has still like on paper a really good matchup spread. She beats Joker, so that's good, and she beats Snake. So she's definitely really good, and she has like a good matchup spread like otherwise. Like she beats CSS, so and like beats like arguably like beats like some other characters too. And it's not like there isn't like a really good run of this character as this space, but that's kind of it. Like it's like an untapped potential kind of top tier. I think Inkling based on my kid alone goes up here. This kid is insane. All right, next up. Snake. Snake is weird because he has a +2 against Shulk. And like that goes even with like Roy and Aegis and like Joker. But then he just has some really bad matchups. Like Game Watch, terrible. Like Palutena, terrible. VSS, bad. Like Mega Man, also really bad. Inkling, really bad. Like, he has a lot of just randomly really bad matchups. And his disadvantage is really bad. He has Edgeguard, so he's kind of inconsistent in that fact. He doesn't have, like, the upwards explosiveness that I think most of my characters above him have. Alright, anyway. Next up is Young Link. This character goes dummy, dude. I've been thinking about it, and this character is kind of good. Beats Pokemon Trainer. Beats Peach. Beats Steve. Like, this character has some good matchups. Beats Inkling. Like, that's a big one. She beats Inkling. And he arguably beats Greninja. So, like... And he has some dummy combos. He literally plays from halfway across the stage and can combo you from halfway across the stage. And it's not like there isn't reps either. There's Skittles and Kobe, and Super Semi from Europe too. So there's at least 3 really good players with this character. Obviously, a bit exploitable in some regard, but he's really good. He definitely has it. All right, who next? I think I'm gonna put Steve. Steve, oh man, this character is so dumb. He kills you off of random hits, but he has some mind, and that's bad somehow. But it's not like this character does good against against these kind of characters too. Okay, I mean, I thought I was being sore, but I'll continue on. And he just combos you and kills you, and he has like some good matchups too. Like, he's definitely up here. I don't really care what Steve players try and say. He's definitely up here. He is busted, dude. There's between Yanni, Onin, Jake. There's a lot of good players in this character too. So like, he definitely has like the reps. Alright, next up is gonna be we're gonna put Latina. She's really solid, obviously. She is really, really, really solid. But at the same time, it doesn't feel like she wins that many matchups with the top tiers, right? Like, she beats Mario, probably. And that's, like, it. So, like, she goes even with most of the top tier. I'll say that. And she's really consistent. She is really consistent. She's probably one of the most consistent characters in this game. But she doesn't have, like, that upwards explosiveness that you're, like, really looking for at this stage of the tier list. Like, we're getting the characters that are freaking ridiculous. Speaking of ridiculous, we have Chrom. I have put a lot of thought into Chrom lately. Much more than I would have liked. This character isn't 30 spots worse than Roy because his up B is different. Chrom literally does better on stage because his combos are more consistent, his damage output is better, and his advanced state is better. And his kill confirm is more consistent. His jab will never sour hit. This character is dummy. This character is so good. Like, and and a bad recovery isn't enough for him to be pushed 30 spots down the tier list. It isn't. And it's not like there aren't like good players with this character. There's freaking Mr. R, there's TK3, and there's Lancelot. And there's Lavish now. So like there's a lot of good players of this character. Lavish, baby, yes, Lavish got on the summit, dude. Chrom, call me like I'm probably gonna get clowned for this Chrom placement, dude. But I don't care. He is ridiculous, dude. And he has like some good matchups. He beats Roy. He beats ZSS. He beats Greninja. Maybe not Greninja, but like he beats like some other good characters. He is so explosive, dude. He has like jab F smash, like randomly, and his up beat is like 30%. If you can't, you look damage for the combo route. Alright. Next up. This might be the highest anyone's ever put this character into your list. That's Samus. This character's ridiculous, dude. This character does like 50 damage off of like 2 hits, which is like charge shot and then like dash attack. This character freaking beats Sonic. This character has even matchups with Joker and Pikachu. Pikachu! This character is so good. This character has an even matchup with Pac-Man. This character beats Mario. This character beats Peach. This character beats Yoshi. This character is so good. And there's a lot of rep for her. There's freaking Siski, who's top 5 in Europe. Top 5. Siski is top 5 in Europe. There's the other European Samus Quick. There's Yara from Japan, who I think was like top 20 on their ranking. And then you have Ice Mist from America. So that's 5. There's was that did I miscount? No, that's 4. That's 4 Samus players who are really good. That's 4 high-end Samus players. This character is really good, and like the only thing holding her back is that she has some bad matchups, like randomly they lower down the tier list. So like, she's really good. I don't want to hear it. Samus is broken. I think is this top 15? It might be. But anyway, moving on. We have Peach. Peach sometimes struggles to get in, but then she does a million damage. And then just has so much. That's some of the safest like boxing options in the game. No characters like if you are like a boxing character, no character can contest like Pikachu, like not Pikachu, like Peach, like backer spam or like Peach and Nair spam. Peach better than Fox? Is that what you're asking? Oh, I haven't gone to Fox yet, so. No, I don't think Peach is better than Fox because I think Fox has an easier time getting in, and I view them kind of in the same light. Like Peach has a better recovery, but I'm a literally okay. Well, Fox was literally my next character, so. But yeah, there's a lot. There's obviously Umeki, Ling Ling, and Mutace. Obviously, Mutace is a big one. They all play Peach. Fox is gonna be next. Fox gets in super well. And he has some like good matchups too. Like he arguably beats Pac-Man. He beats He probably beats Young Link. He probably beats Samus. He beats ZSS. He beats Greninja. But he's too inconsistent. He's too light, and his recovery is not good enough. Like it's like he's too inconsistent to be up here, and he's almost too honest. Like you will never die to Fox like free 100%, unless you get like back air to like 80 off stage. Yeah, exactly, David. No, Fox is really good. Obviously piloted by Light, who's a top 10, 15 player in the world right now. You have like Passera Men as well. They're the only Foxes? That's crazy. I thought the characters were a lot more popular. But anyway, Fox is really good. I don't think I'll get much dispute on Fox being about here. Last character in top tier is Rob. If Rob just randomly didn't lose to like Bayonetta and Mennonite, he's so hard. I do think Fox is really hard. I don't know, he's so hard because he's so inconsistent. He's like inconsistent and he's like really like read based. But Rob has explosiveness, and he is dummy easy, and he is incredibly popular. Like it's just hard for me to put him into top tier, knowing that his matchup chart isn't good enough. Like he arguably loses to like Fox, he arguably loses to Samus, he arguably loses to Inkling and ZSS and Greninja and Yoshi and Falcon and Ness and Olimar. And and Sheik and Diddy Kong and Bayonetta and Mennonite. Like there's a lot of characters that this character probably loses to, and I didn't even talk about any of the top tier characters on bad as so if you include the top tiers, he loses to like I mentioned Crom, but he still loses to Crom, he loses to Pikachu, he loses to Joker, he loses to Aegis, like he loses like a lot he loses to Mario, he loses like a lot of matchups. But his high explosiveness is too much to ignore. And I agree with you on it. He is freaking stupid. And now we are finally moving on to top tier. And my 12th character is going to be Mario. Mario is stupid, and I hate this character. He's one of my least favorite characters in the game, but he's up here. He kills you at 30 off a grab. He kills you at 50 off a grab. He kills you at 70 off a grab. And then he just up smashes you out of shields if he can't manage to kill you off a grab. This character literally just bans SD and goes wherever they want. His match part is actually good. He beats Pikachu. He beats Rob. He beats Pokemon Trainer. Like if you think Mario's higher than this, I won't dispute too much. But I think he loses like a good amount of matchups. Like he loses to like Palutena, he loses to Shulk, he loses to Sonic, he loses to Samus, he loses to he probably loses to Steve in all honesty. He probably loses to Yoshi as well. But I think out of all the characters I put in top 12, I think he has the most losing matchups, which is why he's at the bottom here. And he also has like the worst results of all these characters in top 12, with his best rep being Kurama. And then he also has Dark Wizzy as well. Next up is another character I really don't like, and it's freaking Pokemon Trainer. Pokemon Trainer is also really stupid, dude. This character, oh my god. This character has so many random win conditions, dude. Between Squirtle, Water Gun Gimp, Squirtle 0 to Death, Ivysaur, Ignare up B, Down Throw up air, Razor Leaf up air, Charizard, like back throw backer, and this other random Charizard BS. And then like the matchup spread for this character is so dumb to me because when Pokemon trainers try and argue matchups regarding their character, they're like, oh, ZSS beats Ivysaur and then beats Charizard, but then loses hard to Squirtle, so it's even. And then I'm like, no, that's not how it works. That's not how it works because you can just choose to not play the character against me. You can just play Squirtle a majority of the time. Dude, I think Pokemon Trainer players are freaking dumb, dude. Because Pokemon Trainer players don't realize how they should be playing. They should be literally just playing the character that's best suited to the matchup for the majority of the game. But then they don't, and then use Charizard as a crutch, dude. It is so annoying how much they don't understand that character. It wasn't until like Quid one of the Let's Make moves and like properly showed how you're supposed to use this freaking character, dude. It's ridiculous. But no, this character like actually does like lose some actual matchups. Like they lose to like Pikachu and Mario, like most notably. And you could argue that they lose this to like some other characters too. I might end up moving PT up. I think this character is freaking insane. Probably, I also think PT loses Shulk, but and you can argue loses the Game Watch, but like he's way too good, and like has winning matchups against like Rob and Samus and Peach and ZSS and Inkling. Like this character has a lot of winning matchups. Alright, next up, another emotion from my last year list, and that's Pac-Man. I kind of realized this character just kind of struggles with like anti-zoners, like really kind of bad, like ZSS. Like ZSS probably beats Pac-Man. And you also have, like Mr. Game Watch who beats Pac-Man. You have Palutena probably beats Pac-Man. Like this character does lose like, these are my matchups. Like Fox probably beats Pac-Man. Like not 80s, but like 5 or 6. And if you want to like go like Pokemon Trainer like over Pac-Man, that's fine. But Pac-Man obviously is like really good. Like with Bell being like, one of the best confirms in the game, and like piloted by like T, who's the top 10 player in the world probably. And yeah, it's kind of like a fall. It's kind of and like the next best player after T, and in terms of Pac-Man is like Stingy, but he's still really good. All right, next up, the biggest riser in this tier list is Sonic, who went from like 40 something to 9th. And the reason for this meteoric rise for Sonic is that one day was just like looking at the Orion rank. I was like, man, there's a lot of Sonics on there. And then I looked at the matchup charts. And he doesn't lose that many matchups, it turns out. My bad. Because between Raph, Sonics, 6WX, Takai, the European Sonic, Pelly, like, that's 5 Sonic players. 5! That's so much representation at the top level. And Ken, I didn't even mention Ken. How did I not mention Ken? That's 6. That is 6 top-level Sonic players. This character had a lot of winning matches as well. Beats Mario, as I already said. Beats Joker. That's important. He beats Joker. And overall, like I know I said in the past, I think Town Strategy is really, really bad. Sonic's the exception. I've come to realize that. Because Sonic can side B up spring down air, and nothing can be done by the opponent. Because down air is auto cancel, so he just resets neutral better than any other character in the game. Sonic is really good. I apologize for not seeing it sooner. I am now in the light. I understand how good this character is. I promise. However, I do think Sonic like loses like some matchups. I think he loses to like Roy is really bad for Sonic. I think Samus is really bad for Sonic. Kurama is also bad for Sonic too. Like both characters beat Sonic really badly. And then you can argue that like Pac-Man also beats Sonic, or so like it's rough, dude. Like or like Shulk and like he has like 5 or 6 of the matchups like these characters have, Like, maybe I'll put, like, Sonic here. Like, just below PT. But, like, either way, it's still, like, a really good go-over for Sonic. Alright, next up is Mr. Game & Watch, coming in number 8. This character just holds shields and up Bs, because nothing can beat it. You can't. And then this character has a really good boxing tool, so if you try and, like, grab him, he just boxes you out. And then he only loses, like, 4 matchups. 1 to Shulk, 1 to, like, Ike, 1 to Cloud, and then 1 to, like, Aegis. I don't make the rolls. He's just this good. He only loses, like, 4 matchups. He combos you forever. He has he has one of the best advantage states in the game because of up air. He's ridiculous. He is light. I will say that he is light, so it makes him a little inconsistent. But he doesn't really get damage done to him because he just uppies out everything. So, and then resets neutrals downer. So like he's really good. He dicks on Pac-Man, which is really important. Next up is Shulk, and I thought when I made this hero list, Shulk would go down, but he went up. Because I come to the conclusion that Shulk players are dumb. Well, not dumb, but like, I really only think this character loses 4 matchups. This character really only loses like, has like 1 -2 against Snake, and a -1 against Palu, Rob, and Pikachu. And then beats a lot of characters. This character arguably beats Aegis. Arguably beats Wolf. Beats Mario for sure. Arguably beats PT. Beats Samus. Like, beats Chrom. Beats Steve. Like, really badly beats Steve. Really badly beats VSS. Beats Inkling. Beats Yoshi. Like, this character beats a lot of characters. Yeah, Shulk is ridiculous. And the reason why he's so broken is because he combo breaks. And comboing is the strength of 80% of characters. And he doesn't allow kill confirms to happen. He has like the Smash 4 Greninja effect, where Greninja will just shadow sneak out of all your combos and all your kill confirms. Except it's better in this game for Shulk because he doesn't have to go through a landing like a shadow sneak and he just kills you back. I don't care, dude. I don't care. There are enough people who think Shulk is top 10 alongside me, so I'm fine with this. And if Shulk wants to say that he's better, and like all these characters are really tight. Like these 5 characters right here, actually, these 6 characters right here are all really tight. You could put these characters in any order, and I wouldn't really argue with you too much. But no, Shulk is broken, and I don't care what other people say. I don't care how much the foe wants to downplay his character. All right, next up, Palutena. Man, this like 3 to 6, this 4 to 6 section was really hard for me. But I came to the conclusion that Palutena loses like 3 matchups, which are Pikachu, Greninja, and Diddy Kong. And that's significant enough, because those are all like... And she has like a -2 to Pikachu, like, it's a bad matchup. And like -1 to like Diddy and Greninja. But that's kind of it. Palutena's really good. She obviously has like the reps necessary between Lily, Money, and Shag alone. And then some like other good ones as well. Like Raffalo. Alright. Next up, we're in the top 5! We're almost done. Oh my god. Next up is Wolf. Who, this might be the lowest I've ever placed Wolf on a tier list. At 5, which is kind of crazy. But no, Wolf is weird. Because he has the reps. This character has a lot of reps, and people don't talk about. They don't talk about Jackal or Moxie or Ryan or the other European wolf whose name I can't think of right now. Wait, no, I did say Ryan. It's I can't think of his name. Streaks. That was the name. Streaks. You also have Ouch as well, and Charlie the King. How do you forget about Ouch and Dr. Charlie the King? But yeah, you have like 5 or 6 high-end wolf players who play his character, and this character doesn't lose many matchups. He loses like 2, maybe. I could see a world where Wolf doesn't lose any matchups, in all honesty. But he doesn't like hard win a lot of matches either. Just a big thing, because he doesn't hard win as many matchups as even some of the characters I put below him, like Shulk or Palutena or Game Watch or Sonic. But he's just super solid. He's really good. Like I think there's a legitimate argument for Wolf to be like to be like I don't know, like around here. But I don't want to make an argument. I think Wolf's broken. So Wolf beats my character like +2. If that's for what it's worth. Alright, next up is Roy. His character is freaking broken! I hate Roy. I hate him. I hate this character so much. This character has the dumbest damage output, like, in the game. And it's sword version, so it's a disjoint, except it's not quite as good as Crom's. But he's better than Crom because he has a good recovery. It's crazy. It's crazy. Freaking jab side B. Jab back air. This character just kills you. And what people don't realize is if Roy had Crom's sword, he would be the best character in the game. And I am a firm believer in that. Because then you wouldn't have to deal with the inconsistencies of Roy's just inconsistent sword, and then you wouldn't have to deal with the inconsistency of Crom having a bad recovery. This Roy with Crom's sword would be the best character in the game, and I don't think people are like smart enough. I'm not going to compromise on that. It is true. It is true. I swear it. All right. Obviously, Roy has the top level reps. Cola. Goblin, Flo, and I think the one Japan guy who I can't remember right now. Never mind, it wasn't a Japan guy. I don't know why. I just saw TK3 again for some reason. But anyway. Obviously, really good character. I don't think many people are going to dispute it. This is pretty mainstream for Roy right now, like this like 4 to like 7 area. Next up, the third best character in the game. It's Pikachu. I didn't think I would ever put Pikachu like below top 2. But I came to the conclusion that this character loses 3 matchups. It's Game & Watch, Ness, and Mario. And believe it or not, the 2 characters above him don't lose 3 matchups. They lose 1 or 2. And you could argue that Pikachu should be number 1. You could argue it. Because he literally beats the 2 characters I'm about to put above him. And if you think that's significant enough to put number 1, that is completely valid. That is completely valid. And I might end up putting Pikachu number 1. The next up is Aegis. Like I said, the characters this character loses to is only Pikachu. This character literally only loses to Pikachu. I thought they lost to Minion pretty bad pre-patch. Not anymore. And they maybe should lose to Shulk as well. That's kind of it. Oh yeah, she probably it's weird because Aegis only loses to Pikachu and Shulk in my opinion. But it's weird because I think Aegis only loses 2 matchups, and the number 1 is Joker, who only loses 2 matchups, which are it's weird because Joker loses to Pikachu, Inkling, and Sonic, right? But then Mr. only loses to Pikachu and Shulk and Joker. But then Pikachu loses to Mr. Game & Watch, Mario, and Ness. And so do you put Pikachu at number 1? Do you put it like this? And I think you do. Because I think Aegis is a bit too inconsistent. I really do. She's too inconsistent. Like, the inconsistencies of her recovery are going to drag her down a little bit. Because it opens things up for, like, Roy to have an even matchup against her. Like, Palutena to have an even matchup. Sonic, Game & Watch, things like that. Like, a lot of characters do better against Aegis because of the recovery thing. Whereas Joker and Pikachu never have to worry about that, and it can still dominate. And also, Joker and Pikachu beat Aegis, and Pikachu beats them both. And even if you argue that, like, Pikachu is the only one among them that's a -2, because Pikachu is a -2 to Game & Watch, I still think that but Roy Tip leads the tech chase every time. Sorry, I'm sorry I missed your freaking message, Bonk. Also, welcome to the chat, by the way. My chat doesn't refresh. But no. So I think this order is pretty definitive for me. I'm really proud of this tier list. I put a lot of thought into it. I really did. And I've been going for a couple hours now, almost 2 hours. But yeah, I think I'm gonna cut stream here, guys. Thank you for watching. This is my official 13.01 tier list. I'm really proud of it. I put a lot of thought into it. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. I just realized I didn't put Wario in. Alright. Wario's here. I'll really quickly talk about Wario. Wario is really inconsistent because it's weird because Wario got nerfed and so the watch things are inconsistent. Challenger said, "Why didn't you show up like 30 minutes ago to tell me this?" By the way, welcome to the chat, Challenger said. But Wario is really good in my opinion. Luigi himself made a matchup chart a few days ago, which he said Wario loses 6 matchups, and then I looked at any other Warriors matchup chart, and he lost like 20 matchups, which I kind of agree with. But at the same time, Ludini and Huto, the other European Wario, they're both really good. Oh, no, Huto's Japan, never mind. But yeah, they're both really good. And the character's just solid. I don't think he's top tier. I think he's a bit too consistent for that. And he has trouble getting in at some point sometimes. But anyway, that's going to be the official stream. Thank you, Seb. I just had to talk about Wario quickly. Before I end, is there anyone else I forgot about? Alright, that's it. Thank you, guys.